180 kids. How you doing this morning? I've been thinking about names. Do you know what your name means? I know what my name means. My name is Zoe, and it means the God kind of life, or the God's breath. You should ask your parents what your name means. Names are important, and they kind of talk about who we are and who we're going to be sometimes. So you should go ask your parents what your name actually means. Anyway, let's read a story this morning. Go get your Jesus Storybook Bible and page 144, Operation No More Tears. Go grab it real quick. So, they're going to ask, do you know what your name means? Well, you probably already do because you've probably gone and asked your parents now, huh? Well, there was once a man named Isaiah, and his name meant God to the rescue. That's a cool name, isn't it? That might sound like a bit of a funny name to you, but it was just the right name for Isaiah because God had a special job for Isaiah. You see, Isaiah's job was to listen to God and then to tell the people what he heard. Now, God let Isaiah know a secret. God was going to mend his broken world. He showed Isaiah his secret rescue plan, Operation No More Tears. This is the message God gave Isaiah. It was like a letter that God wrote to his own children. We're his children, right? Dear little flock. Now, a flock is like a group of sheep or like a group of sheep that you take care of. That's called a flock. Dear little flock, you are all wandering away from me like sheep in an open field. You have always been running away from me, and now you're lost and you can't find your way back. But I can't stop loving you, and I will come find you. So I am sending you a shepherd to look after you and love you and to carry you home to me. That's what Papa God says. You've been stumbling around like people in a dark room, but into darkness, a bright light is going to shine. It will chase away all the shadows like sunshine. A little baby will be born, a royal son. His mommy will be a young girl who doesn't have a husband, and his name will be Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us. Wow. He is one of King David's children's children, the Prince of Peace. Yes, someone is going to come and rescue you, but he won't be who anyone expects. He'll be a king, but he won't live in a palace, and he won't have lots of money. He will be poor. He will be a servant. But this king will heal the whole world. He will be a hero, and he will fight for his people and rescue them from their enemies. But he won't have big armies, and he won't fight with swords. He will make the blind see, and he will make the lame leap like deer. So like people that had a shriveled up leg, they're going to have a great leg. It's going to be perfect and new. He will make everything the way it was always meant to be. But people will hate him, and they won't listen to him. He will be like a lamb, and he will suffer, and he will die. It's the great rescue plan we made from before the beginning of the world. It's the only way to get you back, God says. But he won't stay dead. I will make him alive again. And one day when he comes back to rule forever, mountains and the trees will dance and sing for joy. And the earth will shout out loud. His fame will fill the whole earth as the waters cover the sea, and everything sad will come untrue. Even death is going to die. Can you imagine? Death itself is going to die, you guys. And he will wipe every tear from every eye. And yes, the rescuer will come. Look for him. Watch for him. Wait for him. He will come. I promise. Poor Isaiah. He read God's letter over and over to God's people. But no one listened to him at all. Ever. They didn't want to hear God's promise. They didn't believe it. Did it sound like maybe it was too good to be true? A story that ends happily ever after? Well, it does sound like a fairy tale, doesn't it? And as anyone will quickly tell you, fairy tales aren't true. Or are they?